Okay, in this video I'm going to look at how to make a panorama image when you were unable to take the full panorama as one shot. So you've had to take more than one photograph, and you're going to use Photoshop to merge the individual photographs together to show the full view. I have here on my desktop a folder called Panorama, and inside it I have another folder called Photomerge, and inside that folder I have my original files, which are 4 images taken of the McGillicuddy Reeks in County Kerry. Even though I was many miles away from the mountain range, I couldn't get them all into one image with my camera, so I took 4 separate images. I'll just show them a little bit bigger. So this one was the right hand edge, this one was the left hand edge, and so we're going from right to left, which is a bit strange on the screen, but Photoshop will be able to work it out. So I want to stitch those together to make one big panoramic image, and to do that I need to open Photoshop, and once Photoshop is opened I need to go to File, Scripts, sorry, it was Automate, and Photomerge right at the bottom. Not Merge to HDR Pro, that's a completely different process altogether. So if I click on Photomerge, this dialog box comes up. It's given me different possible layouts for the images when Photoshop tries to merge them together into a panorama. I normally just leave it on auto, and then it's asking where are the files, where are the images that you want to merge together. So I should click Browse, and I know that that folder was on my desktop, so when this window comes up I'll find my desktop, find my folder called Panorama, open it. Sorry, I should have got to go back up a level. No, that was correct. Photomerge, there we go. My files are in there in a folder called Originals. Those are my 4 files. So I need to select all 4 files. The easiest way to do that is to click on the first one, hold the Shift key down on the keyboard, point to the last one and click on it, and it selects all 4 files. You can see them selected in blue. And then just click OK. And it's showing the file names in this window now, and I've got to tick in blend the images together, because that's what I want Photoshop to do. I want it to try to overlap the images and blend them together to give one seamless image. I'll click OK, and this is going to take a while. You see it's loaded the first image in, it's got its file name now, it's loading the others in, and it does take a while. I'll say a few things whilst this is happening about taking these images. Ideally you should be working from a tripod, and you should have the tripod completely level. Maybe use a spirit level to make sure the top of it is completely level. And when you're taking the images, as you move across from one image to the other, you should attempt to overlap each image by about 1/3, at least 1/3. If you're doing it handheld, as I did with these 4 images, try not to point the camera up and down between each image, otherwise Photoshop will not do as good job as joining them together. It's currently trying to create the seamless composition, and in a moment it will show you my panorama. So that's the McGillicuddy's Reeks. The 4 images, you can still see them in here. The bottom one is the left hand end, the next one up is somewhere here, and then somewhere here, and then the right hand edge, the 4 images. And you can actually see which bits of each image Photoshop has chosen to make the panorama. And you will also notice there's a lot of empty space around the edges. That's because I didn't use a tripod, and although I tried to keep my camera at the same height and not point it up and down, I wasn't perfectly accurate with it. But that's good enough. I'm happy with that. But there's various things I could do now to get rid of this empty space. One is to select all the empty space and then use what's known as fill with content aware, and Photoshop will attempt to fill it with what it thinks should be there. Probably the easiest way though is to just crop it. So if I click on my crop tool, there we go, crop tool, click, have my crop tool selected, put it into the image, and hold my left mouse button down and just do the crop. Now that worked perfectly. Yeah, I'm happy with that, but it only worked because Photoshop remembered that the last time I'd done this, I'd asked it for an unconstrained ratio, so I could choose my own width and my own height. It could well be that last time I'd been maybe on 2:3, 4:6, and you see if I do that, no matter what I do, I cannot get all the way across the image. So, should maybe have told you this before I did it. Leave it unconstrained, and that means that you can stretch out both sides. You can push it up or down. Just one moment. This is a problem with my video card. Just magnify it and use Control-0 to bring it back. I could push up to get more of the sky, and I'm actually happy with that. It's nicely obeying the rule of thirds. We've got a third, we've got this high point on where 2 of the thirds cross. It's not bad, so I'll just click tick, and that's okay. Takes a moment to crop it because it's a big file, but that's my finished image, my finished panorama image, and it's showing the whole mountain range. So at the moment I've still got the 4 layers. If I go to layer and flatten image, or merge layers, both would work. I normally use flatten image, and it's just one image now. You see here, it's not 4 layers. Thing to do now is to save it, so I can go File, Save, or Save As. I always prefer Save As because it brings up a dialog box. It's not going to automatically overwrite a file on my hard drive. It's offering to call it Untitled Panorama number 1 JPEG, and it's offering to save it back where the original one came. That's good enough. Maybe there's one thing I should have done before I actually saved it, so I shall cancel that. And for the Rainbow Camera Club, we want our images 1024 pixels wide. So I need to resize it. Image size, and it was 13,139 pixels wide. So select that, 139, and delete it out, and just type 1024. And you see its height is only 272, so it's almost 5 times as wide as it is high. Click OK, and it's going to look very small on the screen. But if I just press Control and 0, it'll make it fill the available space on the screen, and it doesn't look much different than the original, apart from the fact that it's at the correct size. So now it's file save as. I'll leave it as on title Panorama 1. No, I won't. I shall call it Kerry Mountains, because I can give it a new name. It's going to save it as a JPEG. If it came up as anything different there, if it tried to save it as a Photoshop file or something, just drop the list down, find JPEG, click on it, and it's going to save it as a JPEG. Click save. It will ask me what quality I want to save it in. My advice: save at maximum quality. But you can save it. You can use the slider up and down. This is going to be 290 kilobytes. Click OK, and it's saved, and it's actually changed its name now up here on the tab at the top, kerrymountains.jpg, and it's showing it at 96.8%. So that's it. I can close out of Photoshop now, file exit, and there's my new image. These 4 images blended together as a panorama. Okay, I hope that helps some of you, and I'll put this up on YouTube for you when I get around to it. Stop the recording. Stop the recording.